The greatest fortunes are not earned, they are cultivated. We are taught to believe that wealth is the result of monumental effort, a relentless chase for the next big opportunity. But this exhausting pursuit often misses the point entirely. The true architecture of abundance is far more patient and profound. It is grown day by day through small, intentional habits that slowly but inevitably reshape your reality from the inside out. This is the secret of those who seem to attract prosperity effortlessly. They have stopped chasing and have started cultivating. They have mastered the habit of having, a state of being that aligns them with the flow of wealth. This book will guide you through these simple daily rituals, revealing how the smallest seeds of habit can grow into the most magnificent fortunes. The Habit of Having, Tiny Daily Rituals for a Richer Life, written and published by Success Attraction Formula. Chapter 1. Getting Started with Abundance. Imagine for a moment a gardener who wishes to grow a beautiful, thriving garden. He spends his days looking at the empty plot of land, focusing only on its barrenness. He laments the lack of flowers, the absence of lush greenery, and the hard, dry soil. He complains that his neighbor's garden is so much more vibrant and full of life. With all of his attention fixed on what is missing, he fails to notice the single, resilient wildflower that has managed to sprout in a corner, or the rich, dark earth that lies just beneath the surface. He has the sun, the rain, and the seeds, but his focus on lack blinds him to the potential that is already there. This is how most people approach the concept of wealth and abundance. They are trapped in a state of perpetual wanting. Their mental energy is consumed by thoughts of unpaid bills, of opportunities they missed, and of the lifestyle they cannot afford. Their internal dialogue is a constant loop of, "I don't have enough." This mindset, known as a scarcity mindset, is the single greatest obstacle to building a rich life. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you constantly focus on lack, you are programming your brain to find more evidence of it, and you are sending a powerful signal to the universe that you are a match for more scarcity, not more abundance. You cannot build a wealthy life on a foundation of impoverished thoughts. The solution is a profound yet simple shift in perspective. You must cultivate the habit of having. This is the practice of training your mind to recognize, acknowledge, and appreciate the abundance that is already present in your life, right now, regardless of your current financial situation. It is a move from focusing on what is missing to celebrating what is here. This is not a denial of reality or a form of naive positive thinking. It is a deliberate and strategic redirection of your attention. Your attention is the currency of your reality. Where you invest it, your energy flows, and what you energize, you create more of. By consistently focusing on the wealth, in all its forms, that you already possess, you begin to change your fundamental state of being. You shift from a person who is defined by lack to a person who is defined by having. This internal shift is the cause, and an increase in external wealth is the effect. When you feel abundant, you begin to act in more abundant ways. You become more confident, more creative, more generous, and more open to opportunity. You start to notice possibilities that were previously invisible to you, because your mind is no longer filtered through the lens of scarcity. You begin to embody the energy of wealth, making you an irresistible magnet for more of it. This is the starting point of all true and lasting prosperity. The first ritual in developing this habit is the practice of active acknowledgement. Our brains are naturally wired to notice threats and problems, a remnant of our evolutionary past. In the modern world, this translates into a tendency to fixate on what is wrong in our lives. Active acknowledgement is the conscious act of overriding this default programming. It means taking a few moments each day to deliberately scan your life and your environment for evidence of your existing wealth. This wealth is not just about money. It is the wealth of having a roof over your head, of having food in your refrigerator, of having clean water to drink. It is the wealth of a comfortable bed, a hot shower, and clothes to wear. It is the wealth of relationships, of knowledge you have acquired, and of the simple, profound fact that you are alive with the capacity to think, dream, and create. A simple way to begin this practice is to keep a small notebook by your bed. Each morning upon waking, or each evening before sleeping, Write down 3 things that you have that you are genuinely grateful for. The key is to not just write the words, but to take a moment to truly feel the sensation of having those things. Feel the comfort of your bed, feel the satisfaction of a full stomach. This simple 5-minute ritual, practiced daily, begins to carve new neural pathways in your brain, making the feeling of abundance your new default state. Next, you must adopt the principle of elevated stewardship. This is the idea that you must treat the possessions you currently have with the respect and care you would give to the possessions you wish to have. Many people live in a state of waiting. They use their chipped plates while saving the good china for a special occasion that never comes. They wear their worn-out clothes while their best outfits hang in the closet. They let their car become cluttered and dirty because it is just an old car. This behavior sends a powerful subconscious message. I am not worthy of nice things yet. What I have is not good enough. To cultivate the habit of having, you must reverse this. Start using the good china. Wear your favorite outfit, even if it is just for a trip to the grocery store. Wash and clean your car as if it were a luxury vehicle. When you treat what you have with reverence, you are practicing the energy of abundance. You are affirming to yourself and to the universe that you are a responsible and worthy steward of value. This practice builds a sense of pride and self-worth, and it prepares you for the greater levels of wealth you intend to attract. When you have proven you can masterfully manage the wealth you have, you become a natural candidate for more. Finally, you must master the art of empowered language. The words you use, both internally and externally, are the building blocks of your beliefs. Phrases like, I'm so broke, I can't afford that, or money is the root of all evil, are not just casual expressions. They are powerful affirmations that reinforce a reality of lack. The habit of having requires a conscious upgrade of your financial vocabulary. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, try a more empowering alternative like, I'm choosing to allocate my resources differently right now. Or simply, that's not a priority for me at this time. The first statement, I can't, is a declaration of victimhood and powerlessness. The second, I'm choosing, is a declaration of control and conscious decision-making. Notice the profound energetic difference. Banish the word broke from your vocabulary entirely. Speak of money not as a source of stress or evil, but as a neutral tool, a form of energy that you are learning to manage with increasing skill and wisdom. For example, when a friend suggests an expensive outing, instead of sighing and saying you have no money, you can confidently say, I'm focusing on my financial goals this month, so I'll have to pass on that, but I'd love to do something else. This is not about being deceptive, it is about being deliberate. Your words program your mind, and your mind creates your reality. Start using the language of an abundant person today, and you will become that person tomorrow. These 3 practices, active acknowledgement, elevated stewardship, and empowered language, are the foundational rituals for cultivating the habit of having. They cost nothing and take only a few minutes each day, yet their power to transform your inner world is immense. They shift you from a state of passive wanting to a state of active having. They begin to tune your personal frequency to the frequency of abundance. You start to walk, talk, and think like a person who has, and the world has no choice but to respond in kind. You have now laid the crucial cornerstone of your new, richer life. You understand that abundance is an inside job, a habit that must be cultivated first in the mind and spirit. But once this foundation is set, what comes next? How do we translate this inner feeling of wealth into tangible, measurable growth in our bank accounts? What are the simple, concrete habits we can install in our daily lives that will begin to build real, lasting financial wealth automatically? In the next chapter, we will explore these powerful and surprisingly simple daily habits. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 2. Simple Habits for Wealth. What if the journey to financial wealth did not require a complex map, a specialized degree, or a high-stakes gamble? Imagine you wanted to cross a wide, shallow river. One approach would be to wait on the bank, trying to devise a complicated scheme to build a bridge, or searching for a boat. You might spend years in planning and preparation, overwhelmed by the perceived complexity of the task. Another approach is to simply take one small, deliberate step into the water, and then another, and another. Each step is easy, requiring little effort or courage, but through the consistent repetition of these simple steps, you will inevitably find yourself standing on the other side. This is precisely how lasting wealth is built. Most people are stuck on the riverbank of their financial lives. They believe that building wealth requires a sudden windfall of money, a brilliant stock market pick, or an intricate business plan. The sheer complexity of what they think they need to do paralyzes them, and so they do nothing, forever waiting for the perfect conditions or the perfect plan that will never arrive. Their potential remains untapped, a dream that never meets action. The solution to this paralysis is to understand and implement a series of simple, automated wealth habits. This is the second core principle of our journey. Wealth is not the result of occasional grand actions, but the inevitable outcome of small, intelligent habits practiced with unwavering consistency. The goal is to create a system where your wealth grows automatically in the background of your life, without requiring constant effort, willpower, or financial genius. These are not get-rich-quick schemes. They are get-rich-for-sure systems. They are the small, deliberate steps that, when repeated over time, create a powerful current of financial momentum that carries you toward your goals. By installing these simple habits, you take the emotion and complexity out of wealth creation. You put your financial progress on autopilot, ensuring that you are always moving in the right direction, no matter what is happening in the economy or in your own life. This approach transforms wealth building from a daunting, intimidating challenge into a calm, methodical, and predictable process. The first and most powerful of these habits is the ritual of paying yourself first. This is not a new concept, but it is the most commonly ignored piece of financial wisdom. The principle is simple. The very first transaction you make after receiving any form of income is to pay your future self. Before you pay your rent, your bills, or your groceries, you allocate a portion of that income to your savings and investments. Most people do the exact opposite. They pay all their expenses first and then hope to save whatever is left over. Inevitably, there is nothing left. To implement this habit effectively, it must be automated. You should never have to rely on your discipline to do it. Go to your bank and set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a separate, dedicated savings or investment account. Schedule this transfer to occur on the same day you receive your paycheck. The amount itself is less important than the consistency of the habit. Even if you start with just 1% of your income, you are establishing a powerful pattern. You are telling yourself and the universe that your financial future is your number one priority. Over time, as your income grows or you become more comfortable, you can gradually increase this percentage. This single, automated habit guarantees that your wealth will grow with every dollar you earn. The second habit is the practice of micro-investing. This habit is designed to turn your everyday spending into a wealth-building activity. The concept is to automatically invest the spare change from your daily transactions. Many modern financial apps and services can be linked to your debit or credit card. Every time you make a purchase, the app will round up the transaction to the nearest dollar and automatically invest the difference for you. For example, if you buy a coffee for $3.50, the app will round the purchase up to $4 and invest the extra 50 cents into a diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds. This habit is powerful because it operates invisibly. The individual amounts are so small that you will never feel their impact on your daily budget. Yet, these tiny drops of investment, collected consistently day after day, accumulate in a bucket of wealth that grows with the power of compound interest. It is a completely passive way to start investing, even if you feel you do not have enough money to be an investor. This habit demolishes the psychological barrier that investing is only for the rich. It makes every swipe of your card a small step toward your financial goals. The third simple habit is the ritual of a weekly money review. This is a short, 10 to 15 minute appointment You schedule with yourself once a week to calmly and unemotionally look at your financial picture. This is not a time for budgeting or stressing over bills. It is simply a time to become aware. During this review, you will look at your bank account balances, your investment account balances, and your credit card statements. The goal is to simply be present with your numbers without judgment. This habit demystifies money and removes the fear and avoidance that many people feel around their finances. When you avoid looking at your financial situation, it grows into a scary, unknown monster in your mind. By looking at it calmly and regularly, you turn the monster into a manageable set of data. This regular check-in keeps you connected to your financial reality, allowing you to spot potential problems early and to see the progress you are making from your other habits. It builds your financial confidence and makes you a more conscious and proactive manager of your own resources. You can schedule this ritual for the same time each week, perhaps on a Sunday evening, to prepare for the week ahead with clarity and a sense of control. These 3 habits, automating your savings, micro-investing your spare change, and conducting a weekly money review, form a powerful, synergistic system. Paying yourself first ensures your wealth foundation is always growing. Micro-investing turns your spending into an asset, and the weekly review keeps you aware, confident, and in control. Imagine starting these habits today. A year from now, you would have automatically saved and invested hundreds, if not thousands of dollars you otherwise would have spent. You would have transformed your relationship with money from one of fear and avoidance to one of calm, conscious management. This is the power of simple, consistent action. You have now learned how to cultivate an internal state of abundance and how to install simple, automated habits to grow your external wealth. But how do we connect the dots? How do our other daily actions, the ones that seem completely unrelated to money, secretly influence our ability to build a richer life? What if the way you interact with your colleagues, your commitment to your health, and your everyday integrity are actually the most powerful wealth-building tools you possess? Our next chapter will explore this fascinating connection. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula. Give this video a like and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 3: Everyday Actions That Pay Off. Imagine your life as a magnificent tree that you wish to be heavy with the fruits of wealth and success. You have learned to enrich the soil with a mindset of abundance, and you have learned to plant the seeds of automated savings and investments. But a tree does not grow strong from soil and seed alone. Its health is determined by the strength of its trunk, the reach of its branches, and the vitality of its leaves. Every part of the tree works together in a single, unified system. This is a vital truth that most people miss on their journey to prosperity. They treat their financial life as if it were a separate, isolated part of their existence. They believe that what they do at the office from 9 to 5 is what earns them money, and what they do in the evenings and on weekends is their real life. They fail to see that every action they take, every word they speak, and every promise they keep is either strengthening the trunk of their tree or weakening it. This separation is an illusion. You are not a collection of separate parts. You are a whole, integrated system. The integrity with which you treat your body, the excellence you bring to your relationships, and the quality of your character are not soft, unrelated concepts. They are the very foundation upon which all lasting material success is built. The solution is to embrace the principle of holistic wealth. This is the understanding that you do not just attract wealth with your financial habits, you attract it with your entire being. Every action you take is a deposit into, or a withdrawal from, your personal bank of value. Your reputation, your character, and your personal energy are your most valuable assets. When these are strong, opportunities and money are naturally drawn to you. When they are weak, you repel them, no matter how hard you work or how smart your financial strategy is. This chapter is about recognizing that your everyday, seemingly non-financial actions are, in fact, the most powerful levers you have for building a rich life. It is about understanding that the person you are being every day is what ultimately determines the level of wealth you can achieve and sustain. When you begin to live with this holistic awareness, every part of your day becomes an opportunity to build your wealth, not just the hours you spend working. You are always building, always investing in the most important asset you will ever own, yourself. The first of these everyday actions is the habit of uncompromising excellence. This is the commitment to bringing the very best version of yourself to everything you do, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant the task. Whether you are writing a report for your boss, cleaning your kitchen, or helping your child with their homework, you do it with a full measure of your attention and effort. This is not about being a perfectionist, which is a state of fear. This is about taking pride in your output, about making excellence your personal standard. Why does this build wealth? Because the world pays for value. A reputation for excellence is the most powerful marketing tool in existence. When people know that your name is synonymous with quality, reliability, and care, they will seek you out. Opportunities will come to you. Promotions, raises, and new clients are the natural byproduct of a commitment to excellence. For example, if your job is to serve coffee, you can choose to just go through the motions, or you can choose to make every cup with care, to remember a regular customer's name, and to keep your station spotlessly clean. The person who practices excellence in this role is the one who will eventually be promoted to manager, or who will gain the skills and reputation to one day open their own successful cafe. Excellence is a habit that pays dividends in every area of life. The second action is the practice of proactive generosity. This is the habit of consistently looking for ways to add value to others' lives without any expectation of an immediate return. True wealth is not a zero-sum game where one person's gain is another's loss. It is created through the circulation of value. The more value you put out into the world, the more will inevitably flow back to you, often from the most unexpected sources. This generosity can take many forms. It can be sharing a piece of knowledge that could help a colleague, connecting two people who could benefit from knowing each other, or offering a genuine compliment to a stranger. It is about shifting your focus in interactions from what can I get to what can I give. For instance, instead of going to a networking event with a stack of your own business cards ready to hand them out, go with the intention of learning about other people's challenges and thinking of ways you might be able to help them. This approach builds a vast reservoir of goodwill. People remember those who are generous. They trust them and want to help them succeed. This network of strong, positive relationships becomes an invisible safety net and a powerful engine for opportunity. A generous person is never truly poor, for they are rich in the currency of human connection. The third, and perhaps most important, everyday action is the practice of radical integrity. This is the habit of making your word your bond. It means doing what you say you will do, when you say you will do it. It means being on time for your appointments. It means honoring your commitments, both big and small. Integrity is the bedrock of trust, and trust is the single most valuable commodity in any financial or personal relationship. When people trust you, they are willing to invest in you, partner with you, and give you their business. A single breach of integrity can destroy a reputation that took years to build. This practice must be applied universally. You cannot have integrity with your clients, but lack it with your family. It is a holistic trait. A simple way to build this habit is to be very careful with the promises you make. Do not say, "I'll call you later," unless you fully intend to call. Do not agree to a deadline you know you cannot meet. It is better to underpromise and overdeliver than the other way around. Every time you honor your word, you strengthen your character and increase your personal value. A person of high integrity is a magnet for high-quality people and high-quality opportunities. These three habits, uncompromising excellence, proactive generosity, and radical integrity, are the silent engines of wealth creation. They are what build a life that does not just look rich on a bank statement, but feels rich in its character and contributions. They ensure that the wealth you build is sustainable, because it is built on the solid foundation of who you are. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. By infusing your daily actions with these principles, you are constantly tending to the magnificent tree of your life, ensuring it grows strong, healthy, and capable of bearing the most incredible fruit. You have now learned how to cultivate the right mindset, install the right financial habits, and engage in the right everyday actions. You have the complete toolkit for the foundation of a richer life. But how do we take this foundation and use it to build the specific life we dream of? How do we go from these general principles to the concrete manifestation of our most cherished goals? The next chapter will guide you through the process of turning your vague dreams into a tangible reality. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 4. Turning Dreams into Reality. Imagine standing on the shore, looking out at a beautiful distant island. This island represents your greatest dream, a life of financial freedom, creative fulfillment, or profound peace. You can see it clearly in your mind's eye, and the desire to be there is powerful. Yet the island remains far away, separated from you by a vast expanse of water. You have prepared yourself by cultivating an abundant mindset. You have learned to be a good steward of your resources, and you have built strong daily habits. You have everything you need to make the journey, but one problem remains. You have no bridge and no map. This is the state where many people find themselves. They have a sincere desire for a better life, but this desire is a vague, undefined wish. They want to be successful or wealthy, but these are not destinations. They are fuzzy concepts. Without a specific, concrete target, all their positive habits and hard work have no direction. Their energy is scattered like a ship without a rudder, and their dreams remain forever on that distant, unreachable shore of fantasy. The solution to this problem is to become the architect of your own future by using the blueprint method. A dream is an idea, but a blueprint is a plan. It is the process of taking your vague, intangible desires and translating them into a crystal-clear, tangible objective with a concrete set of instructions for its construction. This method is what transforms you from a passive daydreamer into an active creator. It bridges the gap between your imagination and your reality. When you have a blueprint, you are no longer hoping that your life will change. You are giving it specific instructions on how to change. Your subconscious mind, which works like a powerful guidance system, is given a precise destination to navigate toward. Your daily actions, which were once just good habits, now become purposeful steps, each one laying a specific brick in the foundation of your dream life. The blueprint method is the practical, grounded process of telling your life exactly what you want it to build for you, leaving nothing to chance. The first step in creating your blueprint is the ritual of crystallization. You must move beyond a general idea and define your dream with absolute, multisensory detail. It is not enough to say, "I want to be financially free." What does that look like, specifically? What is the exact amount of passive income you desire each month? What will you do with your time once you achieve it? Where will you live? Who will you be with? Take out a piece of paper and write down your primary goal in exhaustive detail, as if you are describing something that already exists. Use the present tense. Instead of, "I will own a successful business," write, "I am the proud owner of a thriving online bookstore that generates a net profit of $10,000 each month. I work from my home office, which has a large window overlooking a garden, and I feel a profound sense of purpose and creative joy every day." Engage all your senses in this description. What do you see, hear, feel, smell, and taste in this new reality? The more vivid and specific you make your crystallized vision, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. This written declaration is the first draft of your blueprint, the foundational document from which all plans will be made. Once your vision is crystallized, you apply the principle of reverse engineering. This is the process of starting from your finished goal and working your way backward to the present moment. Look at your written declaration. Ask yourself, what is the last major thing that would need to happen right before this becomes my reality? For the bookstore owner, perhaps it would be successfully launching their website and making their first 100 sales. Then ask again, what needed to happen right before that? Perhaps it was securing the inventory and building the website. Continue this process, identifying all the major milestones in reverse order. The milestones might look something like this. 5. Launch website and make 100 sales. 4. Build website and secure inventory. 3. Finalize a business plan and secure a small loan. 2. Complete market research and identify a niche. 1. Learn the fundamentals of e-commerce. This process takes a large, intimidating goal and breaks it down into a logical sequence of smaller, more manageable projects. The mountain is transformed into a staircase. Your blueprint now has its main structural supports, and the path forward is no longer a mystery. Finally, with your milestones laid out, you must engage the habit of the first step. This is the most critical part of turning the blueprint into a physical structure, as it is the step that overcomes the powerful force of inertia. Look at the very first milestone on your list. In our example, it is learn the fundamentals of e-commerce. Now ask yourself, what is the absolute smallest, simplest physical action I can take in the next 24 hours to move toward that milestone? The key here is to make the step so small that it is almost impossible not to do it. A first step is not research e-commerce. That is too vague. A perfect first step would be go to the library's website and borrow one book on starting an online business, or watch one 20-minute introductory video on YouTube about e-commerce platforms. This tiny action is the first tap on the first domino. It shatters procrastination and begins to build real, physical momentum. Action creates clarity and confidence. Once you have taken that first tiny step, the second step becomes easier, and soon you are consistently moving through your blueprint, turning your beautiful, detailed dream into your lived, everyday reality. You now possess the architect's tools. You understand that a vague wish is powerless, but a detailed blueprint is a set of commands for reality. But even the best architect knows that the construction process is rarely smooth. Plans can be disrupted by unexpected storms and unforeseen challenges. What happens when you follow your blueprint, but you hit a wall? What do you do when a part of your plan fails, leaving you feeling discouraged and ready to abandon the project? How do you build the emotional strength to stay the course when things get difficult? Our next chapter will teach you the essential skill of staying strong and resilient through the inevitable setbacks. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 5. Staying strong through setbacks. Imagine a master sailor guiding a ship across the ocean. Their skill is not truly demonstrated on days when the sun is shining and the sea is as calm as glass. Any novice can hold a steady course in perfect weather. The master's true worth is revealed when the sky darkens, the winds howl, and the waves crash against the hull. It is their ability to navigate the storm, to keep their vessel intact and on course through the chaos, that defines their mastery. Your journey toward a richer life is no different. You can have a perfect plan and practice all the right habits, but there will inevitably be storms. The market will shift, a business venture may fail, you might face an unexpected job loss, or a carefully planned investment may not pan out. These setbacks are a natural and unavoidable part of any meaningful journey. The true danger is not the storm itself, but your reaction to it. Most people, when faced with a significant setback, interpret it as a personal failure, a final judgment that their dream is impossible. They allow the winds of disappointment to throw them off course, and in their despair, they abandon the voyage altogether. The solution and the key to lifelong success is to develop a deep and unwavering, resilient resolve. This is the inner strength that allows you to face setbacks, not as devastating defeats, but as essential and valuable parts of your journey. It is the practice of seeing challenges as feedback, not failure. It is the ability to absorb the shock of a disappointment, learn the lesson it was sent to teach you, and then bounce back even stronger and more determined than before. When you cultivate resilient resolve, you become like the master sailor. You do not fear the storms because you have the confidence that you can navigate them. You understand that the storm is not there to sink you, but to make you a better sailor. This mindset shift is what allows you to persist where others would quit. It transforms every obstacle from a stumbling block into a stepping stone, ensuring that no matter what happens externally, you are always moving forward internally, growing in wisdom, strength, and character. The first habit for building this resolve is the 24-hour rule. When a setback strikes, it is often accompanied by a powerful surge of negative emotion: fear, anger, disappointment, or shame. Acting from within this emotional storm is almost always a mistake. You might make a rash decision, say something you regret, or give up on your dream entirely. The 24-hour rule is a simple but profound discipline. When you experience a significant setback, you give yourself a full 24 hours before making any major decisions or taking any significant actions related to it. During this time, you give yourself permission to feel the emotions fully. Be disappointed, be frustrated, but do not act. This cooling-off period allows the initial emotional intensity to subside. It creates a space between the event and your response. After a day, your mind will be clearer, your perspective will have returned, and you will be able to approach the situation from a place of logic and strength rather than from a place of panic and fear. This single habit can prevent you from turning a temporary setback into a permanent defeat. After the cooling-off period, you engage in the ritual of the objective review. This is where you transform from the victim of the setback into the student of it. You must approach the situation like a detective, calmly and objectively looking for clues and lessons. Ask yourself a series of targeted questions, and it is helpful to write down the answers. Start with, what specifically happened? Just state the objective facts without emotional language. Then ask, what was my role in this outcome? What choices did I make that contributed to it? This is not about blame. It is about taking responsibility, which is the foundation of power. The most important question is next. What is the single most valuable lesson this experience has taught me? Every setback contains a hidden gift of wisdom. Perhaps the lesson is that you need more knowledge in a certain area, that you trusted the wrong person, or that your initial plan had a critical flaw. Your job is to find this gift. For example, if a business idea fails to attract customers, the lesson might be the critical importance of market research before product development. This review process turns a painful event into a valuable educational experience that you could not have gained any other way. The final step in this process is the habit of the quick pivot. A lesson is only theoretical until it is applied. Once you have identified the key lesson from your setback, you must immediately decide on a new, small, positive course of action based on that lesson. This act of taking immediate constructive action is the fastest way to shift your energy from disappointment to empowerment. It rebuilds your momentum and signals to your subconscious mind that you are still in control and still moving forward. The action should be small and achievable. For example, following the failed business idea, the quick pivot would not be to start a whole new business the next day. It might be to sign up for an online course on market research, or to call and interview 3 potential customers about their needs. After a rejected proposal, the quick pivot might be to ask for specific feedback and then immediately begin revising the proposal based on that feedback. This habit prevents you from getting stuck in analysis paralysis or wallowing in regret. It closes the loop on the setback, integrating the lesson and turning it into immediate, forward-moving progress. Imagine 2 people who both lose their jobs. The first person sees it as a catastrophe. They spend weeks feeling defeated, sending out resumes half-heartedly, and complaining about the unfairness of the situation. The second person, practicing resilient resolve, applies the 24-hour rule to process the initial shock. Then, they conduct an objective review, realizing the lesson is that their skills had become outdated. Their quick pivot is to immediately enroll in a certification course for a high-demand skill in their industry. 6 months later, the first person is still struggling, while the second person has secured a better, higher-paying job, armed with new skills and confidence. The setback was the same. The response was what made all the difference. This is the power of staying strong. But once you can handle any storm, how do you ensure your ship is not just surviving, but constantly getting faster, stronger, and better? How do you create a system where your wealth, skills, and success continue to grow day after day automatically? The final chapter will reveal the secrets to creating perpetual daily growth. Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 6. Growing your wealth daily. Think about the principle of compound interest, often called the eighth wonder of the world. A small sum of money invested wisely can grow into a fortune over time. This is because the interest it earns also starts earning interest, creating a cycle of accelerating exponential growth. The first few years, the growth is barely noticeable, but over decades, the results become staggering. This same powerful principle applies not just to your money, but to every aspect of your life, your knowledge, your skills, your health, and your relationships. This is the secret to a life of ever-expanding richness. The problem is that most people live their lives linearly. They reach a certain level of income, a certain level of knowledge, and a certain level of comfort. And then they stop. They plateau. They get their degree and stop learning. They get the promotion and stop pushing. They achieve a goal and then shift into maintenance mode. Their growth stagnates, and their life, instead of being a dynamic, flowing river, becomes a static, stagnant pond. They miss out on the incredible power of compounding. The solution is to wholeheartedly embrace the principle of perpetual growth. This is a deep, personal commitment to being a lifelong learner and to making small, daily investments in your most important asset, you. It is the understanding that your current success is merely a platform for your future growth. This principle shifts your focus from achieving a single, static goal to engaging in a continuous, dynamic process of improvement. You are never finished. You are always a work in progress, and that is a beautiful and powerful thing. When you adopt this mindset, you begin to look for opportunities to grow in every experience. Your goal is not just to be successful today, but to be more capable, more knowledgeable, and more valuable tomorrow than you were today. This commitment to small, daily, incremental improvement is what creates the unstoppable momentum of compounding personal value, leading to a life that becomes richer and more fulfilling with each passing day. The first ritual for living this principle is the daily growth habit. This is the non-negotiable practice of dedicating a small block of time each and every day to improving yourself. This could be as little as 15 minutes, but it must be consistent. During this time, you actively engage in an activity that expands your mind, enhances your skills, or improves your well-being. You could read a chapter of a nonfiction book, listen to an educational podcast during your commute, watch a tutorial on a skill you want to learn, or practice a form of meditation to improve your focus. The specific activity is less important than the consistency of the habit. Think of it as a daily deposit into your personal knowledge account. A single deposit is insignificant, but compounded over a year, 365 small deposits create a massive reserve of expertise and wisdom. This daily habit ensures that you are always sharpening your axe, making you more effective and valuable in everything you do. It is the single best investment you can possibly make, and it provides a return that no one can ever take away from you. The second practice is the creation of a dedicated growth fund. Just as you learn to pay yourself first by automatically saving a portion of your income, you must apply the same logic to your personal development. You should set aside a small percentage of your income, perhaps 1 to 5%, into a separate account specifically earmarked for your growth. This fund is to be used for things like online courses, books, seminars, coaching, or attending industry conferences. By creating a separate fund, you are making a formal commitment to investing in yourself. It transforms personal development from something you will get around to when you have extra money into a planned, budgeted priority. When you see an opportunity to learn a valuable new skill or gain wisdom from a mentor, you will not have to wonder if you can afford it. Your growth fund will be there, waiting to be deployed. This practice makes it easy and automatic to say yes to opportunities that will accelerate your personal and financial growth, providing a return on investment that will dwarf any stock market gain. The third ritual is the weekly improvement review. This is a short, simple process you conduct once a week to ensure you are staying on the path of perpetual growth. At the end of each week, take 15 minutes to sit down and ask yourself 2 questions. The first is, what was my biggest win or lesson this week? This helps you acknowledge your progress and integrate what you have learned. The second, and more important question is, what is one small thing I can do to improve by just 1% next week? This is the essence of the Japanese concept of kaizen, or continuous improvement. The goal is not to make massive, radical changes, but to find small, incremental ways to get a little bit better. Perhaps you could wake up 10 minutes earlier, or substitute one unhealthy snack for a healthy one, or improve the way you organize your daily tasks. By focusing on a tiny 1% improvement each week, you create a manageable, sustainable system for growth. Compounded over a year, these small weekly improvements lead to a dramatic transformation in your effectiveness and results. This ritual keeps you from ever becoming complacent and ensures your growth curve is always trending upward. Embracing these habits of perpetual growth is what separates a life of temporary success from a legacy of lasting abundance. It is the ultimate expression of the habit of having, because it is rooted in the belief that you are worthy of continuous investment. It ensures that your journey is never over. There is always a new skill to learn, a new book to read, and a new level of mastery to achieve. This is the path to a life that is not just financially rich, but rich in knowledge, rich in character, rich in contribution, and rich in joy. Committing to this path means you are no longer just building wealth. You are becoming wealth. You are transforming yourself into a person of ever-increasing value, and a rich life becomes the natural, inevitable reflection of the person you have chosen to become, day by day. You have discovered that a rich life is not a destination you arrive at, but a habit you cultivate. It is not born from a single act of luck or a monumental effort, but is quietly assembled, day by day, through the tiny rituals you practice. From the way you think about the abundance you already have, to the small, automated habits that grow your wealth, and finally, to the commitment to perpetual growth, each element is a thread in the magnificent tapestry of your life. These are not just techniques, they are a new way of being. They are the path to becoming a person who does not chase wealth, but who naturally attracts it as a byproduct of their character and consistency. We hope you have found this journey valuable. If you did, please consider liking this video, leaving a comment with your thoughts, and subscribing to Success Attraction Formula for more content to help you build your best life. Thank you for watching.